Hi, thrifty friends. It's Laura. I hope you're all doing well. It's a lovely Sunday here in the Ottawa Valley. It's windy, and so I'm all red. I've been out walking Jake. This is not a haul video, so watch it if you would like. This is, I mentioned in my last video, I think, that I was following along with Nancy at Wishes and Weeds, who just makes the most amazing junk journals. They're absolutely gorgeous. Can only aspire. And I will put a link down below to her channel. Some of you said you've been following along too. So I wanted to show what I did. But before I do, Nancy, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. You did clear instructions. You were so good. And I am the most terrible student on the face of the earth. Please forgive me. But I will preface it by saying I had a ton of fun. I was really inspired. And thank you very much. So without further ado, here's my Traveler's Notebook, ephemera-filled junk journal, inspired by Nancy at Wishes and Weeds. So to start off with, Nancy, you can see that this is not your beautifully collaged cover. I did try, but I realize I am really rubbish at collage. But I did own some very nice paper that is collaged. So this is what I ended up using as my cover. And I did do a little lace tab and a button. So I'm going to go through it. Sorry, it's a bit awkward, but I can't video down. I hung my iPad off the ceiling once, but it was just too stressful to think that it might fall down. So this is a little bit awkward, and I apologize for it. Here is the front cover, and I believe you had a pocket. And Nancy, also, I couldn't do any sewing. You know, I'm at home every day with my grandchildren, and just getting out a sewing machine isn't an option. So here, Nancy, is some lovely faux stitching. My heart was in it, Nancy. My heart was in it. And I put a few little tags there to journal on. And there was an envelope page. And I didn't have a business envelope, but I had these life insurance envelopes, the nice heavy cardboard ones. So I cut one down. I made a pocket with an old, what's that? Oh, you put them in books so you can remember where you're at. You know, bookmark, that's it. Old bookmark about Canadian citizenship. And then I put a few little bits and bobs that I can journal on the back of in the pocket. So that's that page. And you did stenciling. So I stenciled along with you. This was the page. You'll also notice these aren't in order. In fact, I think I even forgot to sew a couple of them in. My heart was in the right place, really. This was the page of the best kings are queens that you had us fold up and make a pocket. And I wasn't crazy about the page that I used, so I just put this paper in that comes out of an old field notes book. And this is a punch from Creative Memories. So that just fancies up that page. There's the pocket side of the page. And I just put a couple of little things in out of an old magazine that I backed on sturdier paper. And I was making this on Easter Sunday. So there, I know I diverged from the way you were going to do it. This is my lovely paper from my friend Dot in California. She sent it to me in a beautiful box of random act of kindness. Thanks, Dot. And this is just some tea-dyed copy paper with a little tab on the top. I just glued everything, Nancy. Do forgive me. This pocket, again, with some faux stitching. You did a beautiful little collage. I just had this picture and it had gotten wet. So I thought it looked kind of cool. So that's instead of your collage. A couple of things just for ephemera in there. And this I love. You had a lot of nice old vintage postcards. And this one was to a lady that I know was a secretary from probably a fellow secretary and is written in shorthand, which I think is really cool. So this is my coffee dyed paper that I did the technique with the doily on. Love that. It turns out so pretty, doesn't it? So here's the page that we did with a vintage greeting card and closed up the bottom so that it would be a pocket. And I did a little lace and flowers and prettiness down there, inspired by you. And there's my little card for journaling. And I made a wee tag on the side of it, or tab on the side of it. Here's the tuck up page, Nancy. That was fun to do. And this is from a cassette tape. And I just made a little grouping here. That's from an old bingo game. And I tucked this up, and it is to your premium receipt book from the Prudential Insurance Company. And I just put some vintage paper in there to make it a notebook. So that was fun, and I did a little bit more stenciling on the back of that page. Nancy, this is my cat. This is Fred. They're very much like your Gibson, and he gets in my way quite a lot as well. So this page is just with scrapbook paper, and I did this, the tuck spot. And I also made another little notebook with paper inside for journaling inside. And I had this fella's lovely vintage picture to put on the front of it. That's just another little fun thing that I had. So that's my sideways tag. You had a page where you had an old letter from somebody. I didn't have one, so it's just some nice stationery paper that I just clipped on there with this is an homage to Catherine. It's a hairpin. So clip that on. And here we are at the center page, the first page we worked on. I did this one, Nancy. I did this one. I followed you along, but I didn't have any brads, so I just made holes and sewed my thread in there. But I did muster up an Edith Holden page for you. So back into scrapbook paper there, just with a bit of fabric. There's another scrapbook paper. You had done an old letter here to make a pocket out of, and this I just cut out of some fabric to make that. Another piece of, that's the back part of an envelope. I do have an envelope in here. Well, wonders never cease. So, and then I just had used a bit of something that I had written and just reinforce the edge of the page. There's the second, sorry, my lighting's terrible. There's the second half of the vintage card, and I took a page out of a book that identifying wildflowers, and I put some old airmail paper in it to make it into a notebook, and I had an owl stamp, so an homage to your owl journal that you were making along at the same time. I don't know how you do that. You do such amazing stuff, Nancy. It's so inspiring. Here is my coffee dyed paper again, and tea dyed paper just with a flip out and a bit of fabric there. This is the other side of my lovely paper from my friend Dot, and this is a fold out. This is a little tuck spot. Don't have anything in there. This is a fold out, and I made this lace pocket inspired by you, and a couple of tags in there, and another little tab. I love those little tabs. They're gorgeous. This is the flip up pocket that you made, and I had this lovely couple's wedding photo and backed it so that I can journal on the back of it. And I didn't like I wasn't keen on this writing, so I just put a bit of fabric there to cover it up. And again, I put the field notes paper on the back of it to cover it up. This tag has some of the ephemera that my friend Dot sent me, and just a little tuck spot there. And this little tuck spot here, of course, there would be a cow on it. So, and then that day we were making this tag. I was making this tag along with you, and you had the birds singing outside your window. So I was inspired to go with a bird motif on that tag. Excuse me. Oh, I hope that wasn't too loud. I'm not used to this yet. And another little tuck that I can journal on the back. And I love this idea that we did, where you just took a little bit of something written and did it on this angle. I really like that. That's something I'm going to use again. Thank you, Nancy. And the back of my journal has got that tuck spot, and I tucked in a fella that I cut out of a large picture, and it's blank on the back for journaling. And remember these? The old computer cards when computers first came out and the cards had the holes in them. So I don't know where I came across that, but I tucked that in for some interesting ephemera. So thanks again, Nancy. It was really fun. I so enjoy your channel, and I will continue carrying on. So take care for now. We'll see you all later. Bye.